Are you ready?
Are you gonna read these for us? You just
I'll
come
read
in.
it. I'll read it. You can get to it. I'll give this to y'all. As of 3:30 this afternoon.
Okay. It is now 5:03. We will call our meeting to order. At this time, we will have the invocation given by Mrs. Daly and the pledge by Ms. Gibson.
Pray and ask you to watch over our schools, watch over our teachers, and all the students for leaders. Thank you for all that you did for us, and Lord, we just ask that you help us through the make the right decisions that are the best for our students. We thank you, Lord. Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. On our roll call, you'll notice that Mr. McMillan is absent, and we'd like to ask you to continue to keep him in prayer as he recovers. We want to welcome on board our new board member, Ms. Camille Gibson, and at this time, she will take her oath of office that will be given by Judge Stephanie Kimmer.
I, Camille Gibson, do solemnly swear
That I will uphold the Constitution
that I will uphold the Constitution
of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of Alabama,
of the State of Alabama,
so long as I remain
so long as I remain
a citizen thereof,
a citizen thereof,
and that I will faithfully and honestly
and that I will faithfully and honestly
discharge the duties
of the office
upon which I am about to enter
upon which I am about to enter
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's get a picture. That's what, we get a picture. You can get the picture too.
Well, they probably already
Oh,
have
they got
one
you.
with me. They probably have enough. Here comes the louder. Uh-oh, follow me, Mom. All right, okay. 1, 2. 1, 2. Got it.
Again, we'd like to welcome Ms. Gibson on board with us, and I've had an opportunity to meet her, and the things that I've heard about her are just wonderful, so I know we have a great asset on board with us. At this time, the superintendent recommends approval of the meeting agenda.
So moved.
Discussions or questions? All in favor? Okay. Approval of the minutes. The superintendent recommends the approval of the minutes of the November 10th, 2020 board meeting.
Make a motion.
Right.
Second.
Discussions or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Financial report and bank reconciliations. Item A, we will receive financials and bank reconciliations for September 2020. Receive financials and bank reconciliations for October 2020. And we have a request to approve bills for November 2020.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Discussions or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Request to approve the fiscal year 2020-2021 budget presented by Bob Haygood at the September 14th, 2020 board meeting. Motion second.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Discussions or questions?
Board members, at the September meeting where Bob gave the second budget hearing, he gave it, you heard it. We actually never asked for a approval by the board. It's just an oversight. I know you all heard it. We asked for questions, but the minutes simply do not reflect that the board approved the budget, even though it's been sent to Montgomery, it's been stamped, approved. For our own auditing purposes, we actually need somewhere in our minutes where the board has approved the budget. So it is oversight from that actual meeting, but as you know, or all of you except for Ms. Gibson knows, there are two budget hearings, and after the second budget hearing, the board approves the budget, and we just simply didn't do that at that September meeting. So that's why we're asking you to approve the budget, the 2021 budget, at this time, because technically we did not get open ballot approval of the budget. So that's for discussion purposes, Ms. Jones. That's why we're asking for that at this time. And we have a motion and a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Item carried. Action and consent. Request to approve the superintendent's resolution regarding extraordinary compensation to employees.
Board members, I have before you a resolution that I'm asking you to approve this evening. Resolution of the Bibb County Board of Education regarding extraordinary compensation to employees. And if you'll bear with me, I'll read this resolution. Whereas the Bibb County Board of Education is established under authority of state law for the purpose of exercising general supervision and administration of the public schools in Bibb County, Alabama, and promoting the interest of Bibb County schools and the children they serve. And whereas the COVID-19 pandemic has posed and continues to pose multiple challenges to the board's mission of providing high-quality education for Bibb County school students. And whereas the commitment, dedication, hard work, and exemplary performance of the board's employees has enabled the board and the Bibb County schools to meet and overcome these challenges and continue to provide high-quality education for Bibb County school students. And whereas the pandemic will continue to require Bibb County school employees to engage in duties and responsibilities above the normal call of duty throughout the 2021 school year, now therefore it will be resolved by the Bibb County Board of Education that in consideration of the additional services to be provided by the employees of Bibb County schools in association with the COVID-19 requirements for the remainder of the 2021 school year, on or about December the 18th, 2020, All regular full-time employees, as defined by the Teachers Retirement System of Alabama, will receive a one-time payment of $400. Board members, that's the resolution that we're asking you to approve this evening.
I make a motion to approve it. I just wish it could be a lot more, and I appreciate everything that everyone, all the support personnel, teachers and everything are doing, because I know this is a hard year, and we appreciate that. I wish it could be a lot more, and I make that motion.
Can we have a discussion at
Yeah.
this time?
We need a second before the discussion. So we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second, but.
Okay,
I'm
no
gonna vote
discussion.
different.
Now discussion.
All right. I'm not against it by any means. In fact, I wholeheartedly commend you, Mr. McGee, for bringing this to our attention and giving us a chance to vote on it. The only thing that I differ is I think with questioning you, and I'm going to clear my thinking up. This is a one-time pay increase. Am I correct?
It's a one-time payment.
Okay, maybe
It's not $400 a month. It's not $400 a month from here on out. It's
the increase in the pay, so
Yes, sir.
It's like a bonus.
whatever we call it, we know, and I'm gonna agree to $400. But here's my argument. My argument is, and question is, how much could we afford to give these deserving teachers? They're in the line of duty. I mean, when a soldier goes into battle, they get combat pay. And I know this is a unique situation, and these teachers really are in harm's way every day. So what I'm asking you, is there any way we could pay them more than $400 for a one-shot bonus? That's
We-
my question.
Well, we can, you do understand that as board members, this money is coming out of the general fund. So anything we take out of the general fund, that does impact our requirement by law of establishing a 1 month reserve. To answer your question, yes, we could do more. It's up to the board to decide how much of that 1 month reserve you're willing to go into.
Well, my understanding is, I know it's coming out of the general fund, but it's kind of unique circumstances. We're aided by the fact that the stimulus
Yes.
money is available, correct?
That's correct.
Um,
This is not COVID
I
money.
know $100 may not sound a lot of difference, but if we can afford it, and it's a one-time thing, and well, hopefully we won't face this anymore after this year with the development of the vaccine.
Yes, sir.
And hopefully people obeying it and taking all other precautions to get over this thing, that it'll be a one-time thing, I'm hoping. I'd just like to see one more $100 if we can afford it added. Make it a cool $500. That's
All right. So
I'm in agreement. They need the bonus. I'm not disagreeing at all. My argument is, I'd like to give them more.
so you're wanting to amend the resolution to
Correct.
read $500.
With your recommendation.
I will go along with that. Again, as board members, you have the financials, you see those. Yes, we can do that if you want to increase that to
I hope this is the
500.
only time we ever have to do this, but
Absolutely.
they deserve every penny we can afford to give them.
Ms. Jones, the way I understand it, Mr. Moody is asking for, I guess, amendment or revision to the resolution to read $500. And I can make that change in the resolution. I suppose we need more discussion, or at least approval from other board members, or Anybody that'd like to argue against Mr. Moody for the extra 500?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. All right,
Then
then,
I'd like to give them a lot more, but, you know.
then I would say we amend this, if that's what the board members want, to $500 per full-time employees defined by the Teachers Retirement System of Alabama.
Not to complicate things, just one other question.
Yes, sir.
I know in some situations, we have contracted with outside agencies to hire
Yes.
people. Now, they will not be affected. They will not
We-
receive this.
We will have to, with them not being employees of the board, but contract employees, if you're talking about full-time aides that we employ through Kelly Services,
Right.
I do have an email out that I'm awaiting a response from Kelly to find out how they propose we go about that. But certainly, I don't understand why they wouldn't receive this from us. The way we pay them now, they document their hours, we send
I just
Kelly
brought that up to
the
Claire.
money. So that's absolutely would be our plan is for
Okay.
our Kelly aides, and they're the only full-time contract employees we have, would be for those Kelly paraprofessionals. To also receive this, we've got to work that out with the Kelly company to see how they intend to receive and distribute this for their employees, because they're technically their employees. We contract.
It'd be nice if they paid it, but we won't.
But they're not, I don't see that, but I do have an email out to Mr. Jason Yawn, who's the regional director of Kelly Staffing,
Yeah.
to see how they would propose we handle that. We have about 15 Kelly paraprofessionals that I think those are the ones you're referring to.
Correct.
And I understand that you and the board have full intentions that they would also receive the $500 of extraordinary compensation.
At every level.
Yes, sir.
For janitor.
Yes,
or
sir,
whatever.
absolutely. They're full-time employees. So I'm already started working on that, and I'll continue to work on that.
Need a motion.
Okay, so, we need another motion to, accept the amended, resolution, coming from the superintendent to give employees $500 instead of $400.
I'll make that a motion.
Motion. Second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
That's an eye for you, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
All right, thank you, board members, for that, and I will get back with you on this. We will get this information out to the employees. Our plan is that this would be just an additional run. All employees, we only have a few that don't have direct deposit, and we would just do a direct deposit into their accounts, but it would be a separate run from their paycheck. And we will have letters going out, and board members, you are welcome to deliver these letters sometime next week when we get those printed and ready to hand out to employees. Certainly would welcome you to go to each school and meet with your principal and pass this notice out. Okay, thank you, Ms. Jones.
Okay. Item B, the superintendent recommends approval of payment of $1,500 to Danielle Tew for additional work performed and responsibilities in the absence of a CSFO officer for October, November, and December.
So moved.
Second.
Discussions or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, everyone?
Yes. And that's fair.
Okay, receive and approval of policies.
If you don't, it's ordered as a no.
The superintendent recommends the following policies to be received and approved. Receive the following personnel policy files for revision. sick leave bank for personnel, sick leave bank guidelines for personnel, sick leave bank enrollment form, sick leave bank loan form, sick leave bank withdrawal form, procedures for sick leave due to catastrophic illness for personnel, catastrophic sick leave approval form. And we're just receiving these personnel policy files. Item D, approval of contracted services. The superintendent recommends the approval of the following contracted services. A, request to approve payment to Laura Hawkins to provide consultation and support to students identified as having visual impairment, November 30th through September 30th, 2021. Payment of $70 per hour and $70 per hour travel time will be made from IDEA funds. B,
I need,
do I need to do all of them?
we need to do it each individual.
Each individual,
Yes.
okay. All right, do I hear a motion and second for A?
Motion made.
Discussions or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Situation. Okay. B, request to approve judges for auxiliary trials, February 6, 2021, Bibb County High School. Payment of $100 per judge will be made from Bibb County High School local school funds. Motion and second.
Make the motion.
Second.
Discussions or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. C, request to approve Paula Jennings as auxiliary tryout clinician, February 1st through 5th, 2021, Bibb County High School. Payment of $250 will be made from the Bibb County High School local school funds. Motion and second.
Make the motion.
Second.
Discussions or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
D, request to approve Deanna Chandler as auxiliary trial clinician, February 1st through 5th, 2021, Bibb County High School. Payment of $250 will be made from Bibb County High School local school funds. Motion and second.
Motion made.
Second.
Discussions or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Approval of bids. The superintendent recommends the approval of the following bids. A, approval of West Flockton High School LED athletic lighting bid. Request to award the West Flockton High School LED athletic lighting bid to Titan Electric Incorporation in the amount of $187,421.
Make the motion.
Second.
Discussions or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries. A, Sourcewell resolution for West Flockton High School LED athletic lighting. Request to approve the Sourcewell resolution for LED athletic lighting at West Flockton High School.
Does that mean the new gymnasium? or
No,
what?
sir. No, this is, the
That's
way,
separate from
the
the-
way the lighting, these go together. You're approving the Titan Electric, the contractor, to do the work, and you're approving the resolution to purchase the actual lighting through Sourcewell, which is a state contract for bid. So this is the same project, but we just have to have you approve the contractor to do the work. We're gonna supply the lighting, the poles, we're gonna purchase those through Sourcewell. So that's why it's divided up this way. But it goes along with the one you just passed for the West Watkins High School.
The amount we approved covers this.
Yes, sir, the purchase of the materials and the contractor to do the work. It just had to be split into two different approvals because the contractor is not, we're not going to pay the contractor for his purchase of the materials. We're gonna purchase them ourselves because we can get them cheaper than he can. That's because they're on a state bid list. So that's why sometimes jobs are done this way, because we can purchase certain materials through the state bid list cheaper than a GC can purchase those.
Thank you, Mr. McGee.
Motion and second.
I'll make the motion.
Discussions or questions? I guess that was the discussion.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. B, approval of Wellesley's 9,000 water dispensers. Request to approve bid number 20/21-02, Wellesley's 9,000 water dispensers to Harmon and Sons Coffee Incorporation in the amount of $48,600.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Discussions or questions?
This is, we're getting this with the care money.
This is CRF, the health and wellness money that has to be spent by December the 31st. This is for 30 hands-free, touch-free water dispensers that would dispense cold and filtered water through a dispensing machine. We're not getting rid of all of our water fountains in the school. This will just be in addition to the water fountains we have. This isn't a replacement kit. These are actually, when I say standalone, they're water dispensing units that will dispense actually hot and cold water. And we're purchasing 30 of those that we will put throughout the school district in all of our school buildings.
Just to be clear, this is drinking water.
Drinking water, yes, and it goes through 5 filters. It's almost the purest water that you'll ever drink once we get these installed. This is through, it says Harmon and Sons Coffee, but they actually, I think, are the company that purchased, this company in Birmingham. I can't remember the name of the coffee and tea company, but that's who this is. Who?
Red Diamond.
Red Diamond, that's right. So, and we actually have one of these in the alternative school at this time. If you ever want to stop by there and get a really cool, fresh drink of water, there's one in the alternative school.
The 9,000, is that the
The Wells is nine, no, the 9,000 is the model number. These, I think, on the bid are about 1,500 each. And that does include 3 years of maintenance. If anything goes wrong, they'll fix it or replace it. It also includes 3 years of routine changing of the filters, the various filters and ionization things. I'm not a water purification expert, but this bid does include 3 years service on all 30 units for the next 3 years.
I can't remember what that is. Motion and a second,
We did.
Motion and a second,
Yes.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. C, bid number 20/21-03, paving of walking trail, West Blockton Elementary School, Request to approve bid number 20/21-03, paving of West Blockton Elementary School walking trail to Pointy Materials in the amount of $17,500. Motion is second. Ms. Luke made the motion. Second. We have a second.
Second.
We get a second. Okay. You get a second. Okay. Are there any discussions or questions? All in favor? Personnel action. The superintendent recommends the approval of the following personnel actions. A, request to approve the resignation of Tiffany Dodd as cheer coach, West Walton High School, effective January 26, 2021.
I made my motion, but I sure would hate to. She's a wonderful teacher, cheer teacher, and done a great job, but, I sure would hate to see her go.
Why, Mr. Law is here. I know I can't ask why, but why the date of resignation?
That runs through basketball season and everything. She's trying to cover.
She's trying to cover the end of the basketball season, is that it?
Yes, sir, they cheer basketball.
Maybe she'll change her mind.
I hope.
Yeah, done a great job.
Yeah,
Second.
she's done that for 10 years.
Now, need a second, I'll do it for a second.
Okay, let's move a second. And I guess those were the remarks, discussions, any more discussions or remarks? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Request to approve the resignation of Jessica Taylor as Cubs afternoon director, West Blockton Elementary School, effective December 15th, 2020.
I make that motion.
Second. Discussions or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Request to approve the revision of employment date for Craig Hodge, CSFO, from November 16th to January 4th, 2021.
I make a motion.
Second.
Discussions or questions?
This couldn't be, they just wouldn't release them.
They would not. He had a 90-day notice that he turned in October, and he was originally told by the superintendent and at least one board member that they would release him after 30 days, but at the November board meeting, the full board refused to let him go after 30 days. So they were holding him to his 90-day notice. I think they're actually meeting Thursday this week, and there's a possibility they may let him go. But with one more week before Christmas, I'm almost positive they're going to keep him through next week. But anyway, he should be able to start in January, around the 4th. He should be able to start.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. D, request to approve the retirement resignation of Donna Cook, Central Office Bookkeeper, effective March 31st, 2021.
I make that motion.
Second.
Discussions or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Approval of substitutes. Request to approve the following substitutes: Shalonda Cannon, classroom, CNP, and custodian substitute. LaShondrick Moore, classroom substitute. Miranda Mills, classroom substitute.
I make that motion.
Second. Discussions or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries. Approval of volunteers. Request to approve Nicholas Blevins as track and cross-country volunteer coach, Dip County High School. Discussions or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Request to approve the employment of Macy Ryan Phelps as teacher, Bryn Elementary School, effective January 4th, 2021.
Make a motion.
Second.
Discussions or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Approval of the 1% increase set to begin on January 1st, 2021, based on the guidelines of the 2018 Superintendent Salary Resolution.
Let me speak up to that, board members. I will respectfully request to remove that increase this year. Of the two goals, you know, that we set, one, to continue with student, school safety measures and things like that. I could, speak at length of all the things we've done COVID-related to increase that. The second goal that we agreed on last year on looking to revamp our systems maintenance trouble ticket program, I simply have not addressed that, have not had time to look at that. With everything else, I just have not. I can't bring you anything on the goal for revamping our maintenance trouble ticket issue. So I would respectfully request that that the board set aside this 1% increase. I'll continue to work on the goal for the maintenance issues. I'll continue to work on that, but I would request that we set that aside because I simply have not looked into other systems to replace our maintenance trouble ticket that we have in place at this time.
Mr. McGee, I appreciate you saying that, but I personally feel like that you've had a lot of other problems that you've had to deal with this year, extraordinary problems, and I can understand and appreciate you rejecting it, but that the board is like me, I'm gonna recommend it anyway, whether you reject it or not, and so when the time comes, I'll definitely present it.
I certainly, intend to work on the maintenance trouble ticket issue. That's certainly a goal that can continue for throughout the 2021 year when we work on those in January. And that's, I do appreciate that sentiment, Mr. Moody. I will continue that. I just can't come to you with any evidence or proof that I've worked on that this year. I have been busier with COVID-related issues this year, and I will continue to work on that item for revamping our maintenance issues and the way they're reported and handled. I will continue to do that.
Okay, do I have a motion and a second to approve or?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, motion to approve the 1%. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the 1% increase. Are there any other discussions or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Board members, I appreciate that sentiment. Thank you.
Okay. Our next board meeting will be Tuesday, January 12th, 2020 at 5 p.m.
2021.
Oh,
That's my fault.
Yeah.
My fault.
Okay,
It will be fixed.
I might correct that.
all right.
There's gonna be a lot of that.
We don't want to start it over.
In January, there'll be a lot of that.
You got-
Okay, and now we're gonna have our superintendent remarks.
Board members, the AASB advocacy webinar is with Tracy West is scheduled for December the 9th. That's Wednesday, that's tomorrow from 12 to 1. I do appreciate you that you came in during the last week. That was last week, yeah, Friday for the AASB winter conference. We will have you set up for the webinar here tomorrow. The training webinar from 12 to 1 tomorrow. Also, board members, I have shared with you, I placed with you, I just wanted to update you and give you a little information on our COVID numbers. You can see on these columns, the week November the 2nd through the 6th, November the 9th through the 13th, November the 16th through the 20th, and then Thanksgiving through this past Friday. That's almost a 2-week column, which includes numbers from November 23rd, which was Monday of Thanksgiving week, through December 4th, which was this past Friday, and then this current week, 12/5 through 12/11. Up at the top box are staff members who have been positive for COVID. Then you see the students at each school that were positive. And you can see, clearly see in November an average of around four total students and staff with a positive case. And then last week, and I mentioned this to you on Friday when you were here for the winter conference. Last week we had 32 staff members and students with a positive test, and we already have 9 more additional positive tests among staff and students this week as of 3:30 this afternoon. At the bottom you see these are close contacts. These are the quarantine. Now, they're not positive cases, but these are the employees, staff, and then the student numbers that we've had to send home and quarantine due to close contact exposure. And you can clearly see how those numbers in November, 55 total, 58 total, 47 total, and then as of Friday afternoon, we had 210, and as of 3:30 this afternoon, 291. I told you on Friday that we're seeing the numbers, just like in the state and in our county, the numbers are going up. We are just really almost at the point with at least a couple of our schools that I really don't know if we're going to make it through next Friday. The numbers are going in the wrong direction. And keep in mind, as day by day, as 1 or 2 positives pop up, we've got potentially 1 or 2 that are coming off their 10-day quarantine or isolation. But still, our numbers are going in the wrong direction. We haven't hit a table or a plateau or a leveling off. They're still going up. And you can clearly see that each school breakdown, just the numbers from last week, which would be 11:30 through 12:04, when you look at the students that were quarantined, to already this week, the students that are quarantined. So I just wanted to keep you updated. I want to thank our district nurse, Maggie Tucker, for providing me this spreadsheet. She's been doing this for several weeks now, in addition to the school dashboard that she has to update for ALSDE. But this just gives you an idea of where we're headed. And I know you're hearing it. I know you've got parents that are probably calling you that are hearing that the cases are increasing in the school, and there's no doubt they are. We're teetering with a few schools at the point of having to transition to remote learning due to staffing shortages more than anything. And that's primarily would be the cause for a transition to remote learning at any school would be just the staffing shortages. We've talked about it. We are like everybody else. We're low on substitute teachers, substitute lunchroom workers, substitute custodians, and just an idea. This gives you an idea of just what the last 2 weeks after Thanksgiving have looked like. We did have a call this afternoon, all superintendents with Alabama Department of Public Health, with Dr. Landers, and the Alabama Department of Public Health is going to stick with a 10-day quarantine. I know that you've heard that the Center for Disease Control has said they would allow for a 7-day quarantine with a PCR test. The Alabama Department of Public Health this afternoon in a call has said they will not go along with the 7-day quarantine with a PCR test for our employees. They will go 10 days with no symptoms, and that's certainly better than 14 days of quarantine with no symptoms. So I suppose we'll take what we get, but just for your information, this afternoon we got official word that the Alabama Department of Public Health would hold school systems to a 10-day quarantine if there are no symptoms, but we will not entertain 7 days with a PCR test. I'm sure you'll be reading that information. The media will be getting that out. They probably have already posted it, but that was at 3 o'clock this afternoon. We had that conference call. Board, if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them at this time, if I can, or I'll refer to some of our central office employees here.
Ms. Reed?
Yes.
Maggie sent you an updated thing that she couldn't get to you before the board meeting. She sent it to your phone.
What now?
Maggie sent you an update to some numbers on your phone didn't have before the board meeting.
Okay, so these numbers are probably higher. These numbers are probably just a few higher than what you're looking at. But anyway, just this for your information. That's so if you want to know in your district what the schools look like as far as positive cases and then close contacts and a separation or distinguishing between staff members and students. I've provided that for you here. And again, it's not looking good.
Do you think it would be better if we just call school off and for the next, we got 8 days?
That's
I mean,
that's certainly worth discussing. Absolutely, it's worth discussing. Now,
I know I've had a lot of parents calling, and some of them are even like before I know are taking their children out right now, just, as a precaution.
we have had some principals call this week and say that they're having parents request taking their kids out of not withdrawing them from school, but moving them from regular attendance every day to doing some type of virtual or home work, packet work, whatever, as long as they can keep them at home. And I will say this, a lot of our increase in our student quarantines are still due to parents who are positive. Now, there are some, we have had positive students in the schools that have taken out, 6, 7, 5, 12 students. We have some of those, but we are still getting students who are having to quarantine due to a parent. But I will say our students who are testing positive, we're seeing more of those than we did in August, September, October. We weren't seeing a lot of students with positive tests, but we are seeing more now. And that is in line with what the rest of the state, I think, and nation is seeing also, is we are seeing more positive tests with our students. Now, they're not always exhibiting symptoms, But a lot of them whose parents are positive are getting tested and finding that they're positive as well. But they're not exhibiting a lot of the symptoms. And we've had a lot of employees who have tested that have tested negative. I can think of 4 or 5 just in the last 2 days who had symptoms, were tested and tested negative. Because it is that time of year when the regular crud and things go around. So it's difficult. And to answer your question, Ms. Daly, it's certainly something to consider when we're at that point that maybe with a week left before Christmas that we do just transition all students to remote learning.
And my concern is right now is we have so many teachers and some health personnel that,
We do, that are out. We do.
Not, it's important for the children too, that the support and teachers are, I know it's really short-handed without any stuff.
Very, very much.
Can I ask a
Yes, sir.
question regarding that? What determines the final decision in your mind to?
We had asked, superintendents had asked all summer before school started, would there be a percentage of teachers out or students out, or what kicks in a decision to close a school? And, the answer is, there is no, okay, when you get to 12% of your staff, you have to close. There was never any guidance on anything like that. It was just basically, without sounding cute, it was, well, you'll know when you know. When you can't have school because you can't supervise the children, you'll know.
You get enough teachers out, you can't get substitutes.
Right, that's when you know. That's when you know you can't leave this school open because you can't adequately supervise the students that are in there. And that's where we just about are with a few schools in our system. We are, the principals are absolutely doing everything they can. The employees are doing everything they can. But we're there. I mean, we're at that point where it may be the best to just transition to remote learning through Christmas holidays, and even then.
Well, I worry about.
I don't know that many people are optimistic about after Christmas, but we'll see.
Right. I mean, I'm like everybody else. The longer, there has to be a deciding point. That's the reason I asked the question. But everybody knows, I mean, if you let it build and build, it's going to get worse, and it's harder to recover and to get back to, if we ever get back to normal. That's the reason I asked, Mr. McGee.
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate it.
And we've got a few principals here, if they want to speak to how difficult it is, they don't have to, but our employees are doing absolutely everything they can, and that's why I think it's so important for you to approve the resolution for the extraordinary compensation. And I agree with you, that's, even that is maybe not, they deserve more than that because they're teaching students in the classroom, they're teaching students at home, they're teaching students that are bouncing back and forth due to
They're doing
quarantine.
double duty, really.
And it's extremely frustrating and stressful. On top of all of that, the care and concern that all of our teachers have for their students, there are a good number of virtual students who have never stepped foot in our schools this year who are not passing and are not doing much work at all, and that stresses our teachers. Everybody, I can't say enough how hard our teachers are working just to make every day, just to get from breakfast to 3 o'clock. They're working extremely hard just to help us keep the schools open so those students who are coming can get an education. the studies are already out there. We know that students that are trying to learn at home are not learning at home, so.
Well, I think we've done a good job of keeping the schools open this far. I mean, I'm proud of Best Video to do that because I know schools that have been virtual, it's been a struggle that if they made the decision to go completely virtual. People that I work with, parents have their kids at home trying to do school alone while they need to come to work. And so I appreciate, us keeping the schools open and
Well-
at least getting this far.
On August the 18th, for those systems where we opened for 5 days a week, we had absolutely no idea if we'd make it to the end of the first week or the end of the month of August. To say that I'm extremely happy that we've made it this far, I never thought we would. And, we looked at those schools that opened virtual only and wondered, are we doing the right thing? And I'm sure they were looking at us wondering week by week, well, it looks like that school system's making it every day. Maybe we should have. There simply was no way of knowing once the school year started which method would work. Even those that are doing the blended model where students are coming 2 days a week, there was just no way of knowing when the school year started. So I'm extremely pleased and happy, as you said, that we've made it this far. But we all knew that we might get to this point where we have no other choice but to transition all students back to remote learning. And I'm going to say in a couple of 3 of our schools, we're almost at that point now. We're right there, and we can't take another 1 or 2 employees having to quarantine due to a positive test or a spouse or child with a positive test. We just can't do it in a few of our schools.
Do any of the principals or vice principals want to speak?
We've got a few in here.
Carrie Lowell, want to-
I don't mind talking, I like to talk.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, it's tough. Our school, we ended up in a situation where probably if it happens, I may not be. I feel like we'll be a step ahead because we had to close for 2 weeks. It was actually a lot different than this situation. In that with the teachers, currently what they're doing, they're serving 3 different populations. You have your virtual students that went virtual, they're kind of on their own platform. We have the regular classroom, and then we have the kids, all of these that are quarantined and different things going on, we consider remote. Well, I know Dr. Parker, Ms. Benz, I'm sorry, I thought Ms. Benz was sitting back here. They were out at our school yesterday, we were doing walkthrough and stuff, and they got to see firsthand what a different situation it is. They're teaching kids online over a computer while they're doing their classroom, both at the same time, and that's not even counting the virtual students. Currently, I have 9 adults out of the building. Is that hard? It definitely is. Anytime you have to start trying to cover other classes,
Oh, yeah.
in this situation, you've got to be double cautious. You still have to maintain all of the rules and regulations and also trying to keep up with seating charts and who's where so you can go back and combat that. It's hit all of our groups. I have had several calls from parents, whether it's they're concerned about the numbers and the level and think it's to the point that, yes, I wish we would go remote. At the same time, I know there are parents out there. I'll be honest with you, I'll be in the same situation. My son gets sent home, it's either like me or my wife has to be there.
Right,
I can't send him to my mother's house,
right.
you know? So it's tough for everybody. What's the right decision? Sometimes, here's all I'm gonna say, it doesn't matter if you say yes or no. Everybody's not gonna be happy and there will be people that speak out against it. I feel at this point personally, from the communication I've had with parents that have discussed it, more in favor now than any time I've heard
In favor of what?
of remote
Remote.
learning.
And I think,
And like I've had some, and you deal with this, well, I'm working with high school kids. At least majority of all those kids are old enough to be at home alone and this kind of stuff, or while their parents are working. Well, some of the high school kids have younger siblings that are quarantined at home, and parents are begging us, hey, can I please keep, the high school kid at home who's truly not quarantined, but we have to work and we need the supervision for our other kids. So it's multifaceted, there's no doubt about it.
and I think part of the equation where you're saying, you're hearing from more parents that are maybe in favor of it, is because we are looking at 2 more weeks beyond next week of Christmas holidays. I think that has to be, that's figuring in their thinking is, well, we're fixing to be out for 2 weeks, let's maybe go on to remote learning for this last week or 10 days or whatever.
I have a large group that's scheduled to come back like 2 days before we get out for Christmas holidays. That group, just about every one of them have requested, can we just stay out the other 2? If I come to school and get exposed, what does that do for my Christmas?
Right.
I mean, it's.
True, that's
That's
true.
what a lot of women actually, the next Thursday in the course of the school at Christmas.
Sure.
Well, I will look at that, and I stay in contact almost daily with Kirk Smith, EMA director, and he's the one that tells me that it's, even, it's not just our school systems where we're seeing an increase. In the county services, I think the prison, the road department, the courthouse, they're seeing it just like we are. It's almost daily somebody else is having to quarantine due to either a positive case or a spouse or family member positive. But I will certainly stay in touch with you and let you know when we get to that point. If that's what we have to do. What I'm hearing you say is that you don't have a problem with us transitioning to remote learning if we get to that point, that there's some things more important than having the school open and the stop of, and I haven't been told yet by the health department or anyone that we're seeing community spread at this time, but certainly it does appear that maybe that's what we're experiencing, but I haven't been told that yet, that, hey, you've got it in this community, you need to shut this school down. I haven't had any communication from the health department on anything like that, but I'm hearing you say that, board members, that if we get to that point, that you're good with it. Okay. Well, that's all I have, Ms. Jones, as far as my remarks. I want to thank you. I have not mentioned it, but I do want to welcome Ms. Gibson on the board. Excited about her being on the board. I echo what you said earlier. I'm going to continue to keep Mr. Mike in my prayers for his complete recovery. And I will see those of you that come in tomorrow for the webinar at noon. I'll see you tomorrow at noon. Well, I think I'll see you tomorrow at noon if I'm here. I can do that, absolutely. Absolutely. All
I
right.
messed up last night because I ate before I got here, so.
Oh. I can bring the pizza again tomorrow. Miss Hudson's the one showing me up with the food truck.
Oh, she definitely did that night.
All right.
Okay, do I have a request to adjourn? Make it motion.
Second.
Okay, the meeting is adjourned.
All in favor? Mr.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry, thank you.